Hey, it's Cayman with Coal Creek Tubs, and today we have a Coal Creek tub. We also have a Renu 2.0 in the shop, and we're doing a little comparison on the differences between the two tubs. We're about half the price. The competitor's over $10,000, right at $10,000. So a lot of people ask, what's the difference between the two tubs? This one's half the price. There has to be something I'm missing. And we're going to show you the differences, show you the improvements we made with our tub. We're a manufacturer. We've been making plastics for the last 20 years. We specialize in plastics. This is a huge plastic part that's foam filled. So a lot of the cost is in the plastic. So we were able to save you a lot of money because of the manufacturing direct pricing. You hear a lot of consumer direct or direct to consumer. That we're manufacturer to consumer. There is no middleman besides for the some of the internal components that we buy. Just the overall dimensions to start. We are right at 65 inches. The competitor is right at 70 inches. So the links. We're about 5 inches shorter, so a little bit more space. Or you have a little more space in your garage, you put in your garage. They're at 33 inches wide. And we're a tad under 33 inches wide. Now we'll start talking a little bit about the details of the tub. The first thing is the lid. We went with a foam-filled lid, so there's insulation in the lid. So their tub's insulated, our tub's insulated. They don't have an insulated lid, but we have an insulated lid. So it's a little bit heavier. So every morning when you pop it off, it's a little bit of a chore to lift it off. But there's more energy savings by having an insulated lid, and the water can even stay colder. Their lid pops off. It's a hollow lid. Now we'll talk about the decking on the Coal Creek versus the Renu. This is an EVA foam material, so commonly found in wakeboard boats. So this material is being put on, $250,000 wakeboard boats. Super awesome to the touch, like a super great feel. Really comfortable material. I like to sit on here in the morning, and it's just a comfortable material to sit on and also stand on. It doesn't get cold. Just a really cool feel. We kind of like the logos we put them in as well. And the best thing about this is just a stick-on material. So it's just 3M on the back. We stick them on and deliver them to you. But 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, if you're out in Arizona and it's just getting beat down in the sun and it starts to fade over time, or you get a stain on it you really don't like, we'll send you a new one and you can replace it. But wakeboard boats have been trusting this material for years. It does not absorb water or absorb any kind of dye, so it's going to stay fresh looking all the time. And the competitor went with a wood. The wood does look really nice, but it will rot and deteriorate over time. We've had this one for about a year and it's been in the garage, but you can start to see where it starts to crack and kind of fall apart. Some people love the wood. I'm personally not a huge fan, but I definitely understand where people are coming from. This matches the interior of your home. Downside of the wood is it adds a lot of weight. So when we got these on the scale, ours weighed in at about 171 pounds without the chiller. We were able to load it with 2 people. We had to put this on a forklift and slide it off the forklift when we put it on the scale. This weighed about 281 pounds. So quite a bit heavy. So if you have to move and you're not in your permanent home, it could be a chore to move, or if you want to move it to a different spot. This you can almost drag around with one person, or just to get a buddy, and you can bring it upstairs or bring it around the house. Another thing I didn't mention was on the lid. We have safety straps in case you have children. I have 3 kids under 3, so really important to make sure they stay safe. You'd hate for anything ever bad to happen. We'll flip this around and show you the guts. So I already took their vent off. They have a similar 24 by 24 front door vent. We'll start here now and the Coal Creek. You can come here, I can show you. This is a 1/2 horsepower chiller. You simply just set the temperature right here. Nice access door. And so we went with 24 by 12 vents on either side, and then the big 24 by 24 vent on the front. This just allows for a ton of airflow across the chiller. Airflow is really important with the chiller, making sure it doesn't get hot in there so it can continue to chill the water. So this is a 1/2 horsepower chiller. The competitor has a 1/4 horsepower chiller, so this is quite a bit less money, but we were able to get a 1/2 horsepower chiller, which is even better cooling power, especially when you're in really hot climates. Then going back in, we have full insulation, similar to the competitor does. We use a very similar pump. We have our oxygenator in the top right, you can see there. They also have an oxygenator, and they have a, I believe this is a 10-inch filter. Our 20-inch filter goes right here. I'll grab and put that on here in a second. Ours, but this is our 20-inch long filter compared to their 10-inch filter. The filter keeps your water clean, but what the filter also does is it gets dirty. So over time, the filter is going to clog up. Once it starts to clog up, there's more restriction in the filter. That restriction leads to less flow across the chiller, less cooling capacity, and so that's why the filter is a maintenance item. When you have a filter that's twice as long, that means there's a lot less maintenance you have to do to the tub. So we were able to go with a filter that has double the capacity, so you don't have to change the filter as often. Now we'll get the door put back on the Coal Creek. Now for the measurements on the inside of the tub, you can come here and check out the opening. The opening is 41 inches wide, 30 inches deep, 25 inches wide. The Renu, 40 inches long, 25 wide, and a tad under 31 inches tall.